My name is Ralph Ahn. I am the youngest son of Mijudosanan창호 and Helen Ahn. And I'm honored to do this here in the K&A building, the Kuminha.
You were born here, Los Angeles?
Born here, yes.
And you went to school?
Born. Raised here in Los Angeles for my 90 years, except for 3 years in the Navy during World War II. I've lived all my life here.
Your wife's name is?
Anna. Yeah, she's a German-American.
German-American?
Yeah, so we're both hyphenated Americans. I tell the kids that I talk to, there's nothing like being a hyphenated American. Because in my experience, they're the most productive. Like when I was in the service, it was the hyphenated American kids that were more enthusiastic about winning the war.
You ever played in a team as a football player?
Okay, I played at City College 2 years, LA City College.
Okay.
And then at that time, Cal State LA was on the same campus. And they started football. And I was on their first football team. I was the captain of their first football team. So eventually in the years, Cal State had to give up football. But that's the honor I have. First captain of the Cal State football team. Nobody cares, but I like to say that to myself.
You play in high school too?
Oh, high school, yes. I played at Manual Arts. I love football. Oh, I used to play on sandlots. So when I went to high school, it was very important for me to play football. Those days, Asian athletes didn't play varsity football too much. So even though I was small, I wanted to play varsity football. So I ended up being captain of that team also. And I got all city honors. All of us in the Korean kids who played athletics, we had not only did we enjoy athletics, everybody played basketball in the community that day. But there was a period there, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Japanese Foreign Ministry, they would put out notices that Koreans were physically inferior. They'd like, when they were trying to justify their occupation of Korea. So we had a dual purpose. This was always in the back of our head, that Koreans were intellectually inferior, physically inferior. That gnaws on you after a while. Yeah. The small community we had was really great. You know, things like this motivated us. Even though we got along well with the Japanese population here, with the Nisei population, there was never an issue. We got along well. But the governmental sources putting out that kind of information.
What would you serve while you were in the Navy?
Yeah, well, I was a aerial gunner on a torpedo bomber. Yeah, I never saw any action. I wanted that. I was in the Pacific, but I never saw any action. But as you know, I mean, World War II, the small Korean community fellas, we were all anxious to go because we had a dual purpose. Our allegiance to the United States and our allegiance to Korea. So most of us were ready to go. So at that point, you know, I was very anxious to see action and everything like that. Of course, today I would look at it very little differently.
Could you tell us how you spend days nowadays?
How I spend days?
Yeah, we realize that you are 91 years old right now.
I'll be 91 in September. Don't rush me. Okay.
You're getting there.
Okay, well, mainly it's maintaining the house, maintaining the yard. That's what we do. And then my wife and I, we walk. We try to walk every day. And one day a week, I go to the Japanese Community Center, volunteer to do adult exercises for older adults. So, and then And then I write a newsletter for Korean descendants, Korean pioneer descendants.
Pioneers.
Newsletter, yeah.
Newsletter.
Yeah, I write that. That comes out. We try to put it out 4 times a year to try to keep all the pioneer descendants at least somewhat related, because we're also dispersed and most of the second generation is dying. And so, we keep connected, letting people know who has passed away and things like that. So that's I spend most of my intellectual activity is doing that.